everybody, welcome back to Belongcast, and this is Diana.
This is Semih.
Yeah, and today we decided to kind of delve back into the whole process of arriving to the Netherlands. So we did speak about what happens beforehand, before we come to the country, and what we need to deal with a little bit. And today I think it's a great idea to talk about our own personal experiences, what happened here, and in the whole aspect of overwhelm of when we land here and what we need to do and how we need to do it, and just to have a checklist for people of what you need to take with you when you go to very official matters. How was your semi process?
Are you talking about the registration here or general entering the country?
No, I think registration. I mean, let's say we spoke about, you arrived here and then you have to go to get your BSN. Maybe you get your verblijfsvergunning, which is permit.
Work permit, right? The residence permit.
Yeah, indeed, residential permit. We live in Almere. Yeah. I went to Zwolle.
Because you had to do this via IND.
Yeah.
Right? You have to apply your residence permit via IND, and IND offices are not in every city of Netherlands, so I think that's good to mention for our listeners as well. For instance, in Almere, there isn't one.
No, there isn't, but they want to open. They might be, from what I understand for several conversations that happen citywide, is that there's a plan to open here like an expat center.
Yeah, but it's not IND center,
so
IND service. But
it will be possibility to get BSN and IND. Yes.
BSN is from the municipality, right? Because you get your BSN number from municipality, but your residence permit is issued by IND or IND, what you call.
IND.
And that offices are around the Netherlands in mainly big cities, but not everywhere. Sorry. So in my case, I had to do it in Utrecht. That was the closest for me, because you have to make an appointment. As we talk in our one of previous episodes, that you need an MVV sticker. It's a kind of visa that you have to issue to your passport to enter the country.
Yeah, for the countries that not non-EU countries, and
yes. Yeah. And with this sticker, you have to apply in the IND's website to apply for a residence permit. And then you go there, you issue, you show your documents, and then they accept. If everything is clear, if everything is ready, they accept your application. Or else they tell you that you're missing some documentation.
That was not my experience. No? Maybe because you came on a work visa for you was different.
Could be.
Yeah, and you said you come from the blue zone. You had the blue card. So
yes,
maybe
I was coming from Malta, and I had a blue card indeed, as you said.
So for me it was different.
Okay.
No, it's actually when I already got my NVV in Israel in the embassy. I didn't have to apply anymore. Basically, when I came here, I just had to go to I had an appointment, and I went to IND in Zwolle, and they took pictures. I remember they took fingerprints, and they issued a card
immediately.
Yes, and that was from what I remember. It was 8 years ago or so. But there was no need for bringing. Of course, there was. Passports and stuff like that.
That's what I am talking about. Actually.
Okay.
Yeah, the basic stuff like your passport and so on. But I remember that as you said, they took a picture, photo, biometric photo, and but I don't remember getting it at the same day. So I had to go back, and then they sent me a letter, and it was ready to pick up, and then went there.
Because I think I went there and maybe they sent the card a few days later. I didn't have to go twice, or I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I don't know.
It's been a long time.
It's been a while. Yes.
Yeah. It can be. So that was the case, and so until you, in my case, it's still the case, I believe. Until you get your residence permit, it's basically an ID card, but. It's just different than the regular identity card. It has a type type 1 it's called, different based on what kind of visa you are applying. In my case it was 1, I guess. And then when you get this, then you don't need any specific visa in your passport. If you're not a EU citizen, I'm talking about. And then with your passport and the residence card, for instance, you can then travel in the Schengen area. Then you don't have to worry about it. So it doesn't only give you the residency here in Netherlands, but in all the Schengen areas, free pass to enter. But the work permit is limited to Netherlands here. So
of course, because a company sponsors you.
Correct.
Yeah, so it's a different process. And if you switch out companies, then you need to inform them. So that company writes you out. IND needs to write you out of their sponsorship.
Right.
And then indeed the other company takes over. They need to be written in. Otherwise, you must leave the country.
If I remember correctly, it was 90 days. So
yes.
After if you decide to leave your job or for any other reason you lose it, it is automatically, the IND is automatically reminded or informed about this process, and the companies need to inform. Yeah, they send you a letter. IND sent to the person, to the employee, a letter explaining the situation that this is going to happen. So you have to either apply for another work residence permit or extend it with a different contract, or you can change your residence style. For instance, if you're an employee for a company and if you are working with a contract, that's a different work permit. But sometimes people, just decide to leave and open their own companies, what we call here ZZP'ers. They can also do this, small companies. So,
do you think that small companies can hold, if you come here to the Netherlands under work visa, let's say you work for a particular company that they are sponsoring you, and then you get, the contract not extended, or you get fired or whatever reason, then how can if I become a ZZP'er, I can, because I'm just self-employed, that there's nobody takes the responsibility over me, because one of the things that the company, as they sponsor, that if something happens, that company is liable. Yeah.
Obviously, there are different restrictions if you are self-employed, and that's totally different than when you are an employer for a company. So if you're an employer for a company, as you said, employee takes, employer takes all the responsibility and liability, arranges all the documentation. And if I am not mistaken, by the time, the employer had to be also one of the registered companies in the IND system.
Yes, indeed, they must be registered as sponsors.
Yes, so not all the employers can do this, apply for the residence permit or the sponsorship. So it has to be one of them, but I think majority, especially in the IT business, majority of the companies are registered in the IND. And but if you decide to leave the company or for any reason lose your job, then you have a couple of options. One of them is to find another job with a company who provides sponsorship, and then you go through the same process again, and then your visa is being extended. Or you can also choose to be a self-employer, but then this process is whole different, of course, and you have to go through this, and there is a risk also that it cannot be approved by the IND.
Okay, well. So it's just
So it's like I don't know. It's an option. I just wanted to put it out, but it's not like a loophole or something that people can try if they're unemployed. You can also apply for this in the beginning if you want to be self-employed. It's the same process. Therefore, there is a lot of requirements that you have to
show that you can support yourself.
True. You have some amount of money in case your business doesn't go right, and then you have to prove that you are making a certain amount of money, you are paying your taxes and so on. So that's a different ball game, but that's an option as well if it comes to that.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's good to know. But regardless, one of the things that I want to kind of go over for the list of various documentations that perhaps people who are planning to move here or already came here and just before they're going to the municipality and to IND to get their affairs in order. One thing that I want to remind that Dutch, they love appointments. And, if you come to an appointment without a document that is supposed to be in a proper way, then you're going to get a new appointment to make a new appointment, and then in the end, something that might take 3 hours takes you 3 months. So, just in general, whether you're coming here with your partners or children or alone, so make sure to bring the following, or you need to bring a marriage certificate or certificate of registered partnership. This is something, I don't know if it's exists legal partnerships in other countries as a documentation, but here in the Netherlands it do. So if you have that, bring that. Of course, birth certificates for yourself, for the children is very important. In case you are divorced, separated, please bring custody papers.
Okay.
It's important to know who has the custody of the children and what's going on about that. Now, all these documents must meet the following conditions. Very important. They must be or in Dutch, English, German, or French. If the documentation is in another language, it must be provided a sworn translation. And legalization or apostille are required if issued outside of EU countries. So first, in order to do that, the certification needs to be made by the foreign ministry in your country of origin, and then authentication by the Dutch embassy or consulate. So this is very important.
Yeah.
Then, what you will also need, you will need these documents in order to register at the municipality. You need to get your BSN, to get your ND qualified. Here in Netherlands, as in some countries, I'm not sure if all the countries, I don't know, Netherlands pays child benefits. So if you have children under the age of 18, so there is a Sociale Verzekeringsbank, SVB, it's called, and you can apply to receive benefits for your children. And this is paid out quarterly, April, July, October, and January. And so in order to apply for that, and you're eligible, you must bring a document from your own government, from the government of your country that you come from, that you are not receiving any child benefits in that country. Because they will not accept, it cannot be that you are getting benefits in the country of origin and here. So they will ask that kind of documentation needs to be provided. It doesn't need to be apostilled or anything, it just needs to be an official document. Also, if you are planning to enroll the child into schools, so if it's possibility to get transcripts, certificates from the previous school. But if you don't have, you don't have. Another thing that here people ask is swimming diplomas. Something that I don't think it exists outside of the Netherlands.
In my country, not.
No, not in my country either. None of the countries that I lived in. So what I did basically when the schools asked if my children have swimming diploma, I said no, because it doesn't exist outside of the Netherlands. They were very surprised. But my children know how to swim, and that's it. Yeah. So don't break your head if you're coming indeed with children. And again, if your kids are small and they learn to swim here, they will get that. But this is something is absolutely normal.
Yeah. So as you said, Diana, so I think it also, it was back in time, a tradition in the schools. There were swimming lessons as well, like until 70s, 80s. Each school had swimming lesson. And
here in Netherlands?
Yes, here in Netherlands.
Oh, cool.
In Netherlands, they call it waterland. So it's basically just waterland here in Netherlands. And so there are lots of canals and water laying down everywhere. And therefore, one of the governments back in time decided to just provide free swimming lessons to the children when they are in their young age. So here in Netherlands, if you meet someone who is above 60, for instance, and if they were born here, they had definitely an experience that having a swimming class in their, in the primary school.
We should invite somebody from the old, to talk about what used to be. That would be amazing.
That's a good idea, indeed. And but if I remember correctly, late the 70s, 80s, they decided to stop this. probably budget reasons, I don't know. And then, to clarify, it's not like every school had a swimming pool so that kids were going, but every neighborhood had some closed, the indoor swimming pools as well. So there
used to be a lot of rich people back then?
No, but it was like a common indoor pool, and people used to go there, like a swimming pool. And so the schools were providing to the kids like 2 hours per week or 3 hours per week swimming lesson. They would just jump on a bus or maybe just walk there if it's close by, go together, swim, and the teachers were teaching them from the swimming pool. And then that would just naturally become part of the education. Like they also do the traffic lessons, right? In the schools, kids just learn how to bike here, and they even take an exam in the 8th grade before they leave.
8th grade? 8th group.
8th group, group 8, exactly. Yeah, so
Let's be clear, people get confused.
It's like a 6th grade if you compare it to the other countries.
Yeah, 11 years old.
Yes, 11 12 years old. They even get an exam for how they can use the bike lanes and with all the traffic rules. When they turning right, they have to wait because the right has the person who is coming from the right has the priority to take the lane and so on. So that's every year has been done. So it's still ongoing, but the swimming lessons have stopped. Probably it was too costly. And
it's a lot of logistics. Like right now it's parents' responsibility to do that. Before that, so it's easier for schools. But no hassle.
It has also disadvantage, Diana, right now because recently the amount of kids are being drowning is increasing in Netherlands.
Oh, a lot. Okay.
Especially among.
Didn't know.
Yeah, there was a recent research about it. I was reading. And especially among the people who were not born in Netherlands, like immigrants, or they could have been naturalized, but still, when they don't learn in their young age, maybe they didn't learn either. So there was this research that it's increasing. So they even start asking, okay, shall we just go back to do what we were doing it before? So I just wanted to mention it when you were talking about the swimming lesson diploma. So swimming lesson diploma is quite important here. And even if right now the schools don't provide it, you can still take your child to one of the private swimming pools.
Yeah, it must.
Yes.
Otherwise, indeed, some of the trips children will not be able to go to because it involves swimming.
Right. So school trips or the birthday party. So if your kid goes to one of the indoor swimming pools for any reason, some of them are asking whether there is a diploma or not. Not everyone asks for a proof, of course, because you cannot carry it with you. It's a big diploma, but they ask, and if you don't have it and if you try to fake it, it's obvious, right? If a kid doesn't know how to swim and jumps into a pool, it will be obvious. So that's totally prohibited. So be aware. Good side, there are lots of indoor swimming pools here, so you can get it. Not good side is that they also cost money. So.
Yeah, it's not a lot, but I think what is also important, if you are absolutely sure that your child knows how to swim, if they learn to swim in the country of origin or whatever, so if they ask you, just say, yes, they have the diploma. Don't go into the whole conversation. Oh, yeah. That's just completely ridiculous. But indeed, if the child doesn't know that learning swimming is important, I cannot swim. But, my kids can.
Okay.
Yeah. And also important tip that municipalities only accept original legalized documentations. You cannot bring photocopies or scanned versions of them. It will not be accepted. So please make sure if you're going to do that, then it's make sure that you have all the original things.
That's good to know.
Yeah. But also what is important, you can also bring both originals and copies, whether physical or digital, when relocating. So the passport can be that, a residence permit, verblijfsvergunning. And if you already have received that, I guess, again, marriage certificate or divorce papers, custody arrangements. Of course, if you have some information that needs to be with the power of attorney, if you're doing things for somebody else, so you need to have that. Will, living will, various property deeds or or legal documentations from your home country. Yeah.
Yeah, those documents are quite also important, and it just reminded me now, Diana, when you were talking about the list. When you start working as an employee here in Netherlands, we will come to that in a different episode more in detail, but about when we talk about taxation. But you report your income and everything by yourself, because that's the rule in Netherlands. So there is a tax office called
Belastingdienst.
Thank you. So Belastingdienst every year sends an information about saying all the people who are working as an employee, saying that okay, it's time for you to report your tax, and that's around March. And if you have been working here for more than a year, it's much easier, because then the tax authorities know all the documents, all the information you have.
Yes.
Because your company also provides us and all. So it's more about you go to their site and then you verify whether the information is correct or not. So it's much simpler. But when I came here for the first time, it was a bit more difficult, and because you have to provide all the information from the previous year, and that the year was in your home country or a different country than Netherlands. And some of the documentations are also, you mentioned, required there. So it's good to keep that in mind, that if you think that you have original documents with you, please bring them with you. You may really need it, and it's also costly to get them from your home country, because until you get some of the residence permit, you cannot really leave the country to pick them up either.
Yeah, of course.
So, if there is someone, they can bring it to you, or you can get it with a post, but there is always a risk that it can be lost.
Yeah, that is indeed, it can be very scary.
Yes, and it's an expensive thing, because you cannot get the original anymore. As one of the episodes you mentioned about your birth certificate, how difficult it was. So if you are if you decided to come to Netherlands, to country, so collect all your documents, originals if you can, and just put it in the bag in a safe place and bring it, because you may need them.
Yeah, exactly. Also diplomas or any academic certificates that are relevant, because if you want to work in professions that you'll have to qualify here and get certified. Again, there are organizations who do that. So you can, if you're a nurse or a doctor, you already studied. So that's important. Like I said, children's school records might be important to understand where they at. Various work contracts or offer letters that you have received, especially if you're coming here for working purposes. That is very important. Any professional licenses or certifications. So anything that you think that it might be too much, it's not.
No.
It's better have more than less.
Yeah, even the pay slips. I remember that when I was looking for my house, they were asking my last 12 pay slips, for instance, for reasons. So if you have them online, that's also good. Put it in a, in a cloud, or put it in a drive and bring them with your laptop. But only you have the physical copies. Make sure that you bring them as well, and digitalize them in case you may,
Yeah, of course.
something happens to it.
Now, also about health and medical records, right? So, if you like immunization records. For the children, for yourself, it might be important. If you have it, bring it, because they will be asking about it when you're writing yourself into the doctor.
This is for the vaccinations that the kids get, right?
Okay. Yeah. Immunization, indeed, vaccination records. List of prescription medications, if you have those. I mean, if some kind of disease and you need to, so you can continue receiving those medications here. Medical records that you can get, including chronic conditions or allergies or anything, maybe behavioral, emotional, and mental issues that indeed, so it will be the organizations can help you faster and better to kind of cut through the bureaucracy. Health insurance documents, whatever is relevant, that is also important. Of course, like I said, a birth certificate of the children. If you have children that have been adopted, all the adoption papers. Child custody agreements is very important. if there's are disputes and what's going on. Indeed, in many things that you will want to, if you need to issue a passport for a child, both parents need to be present. And if one parent lives in another country, like for me, so having a custody documentations and everything is basically cuts my bureaucracy, because I just saw the agreement that I have the sole custody of my children, and the problem solved. So it's very important. Of course, valid driver's license if you have international driving permit, car registration if you're bringing the car with you, or ownership documentation, of course. And if you are bringing pets with you, also pet passport or veterinary health certificate is important. Vaccination records for the animals, especially rabies, is very important. And microchip registration will be required here.
Here in Netherlands?
Yeah, you must.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after entering the country with your pet, afterwards you, how to say it, register a chip.
I think you'll get, we don't have any animals here, but I mean, probably you'll have to go and register, and it's going to be a chip. So if something happens, they find a dog. There's no stray dogs in the Netherlands.
No, indeed. You are right. I mean, I sometimes see cats, but these are just house cats.
Yeah,
they are allowed to go out and come back.
I never knew that, like from countries that I lived in, cats never walked the streets like here.
Well,
they were stray cats, they were stray dogs.
The home cats are at home, stray cats are in the streets, right?
Yeah, I could really see that.
True. You're right, actually, when I think about it, in my country as well. We have a lot of stray cats and dogs, true, but they don't see each other. Mostly home cats are just looking from the window.
Yeah, exactly. so here, I was very surprised to see, and there's no strays.
No.
At least not, I haven't seen in Almere. And maybe in other places there are, but not here.
No, not in Almere.
Yeah. So, do you have anything else that maybe we didn't mention from documentation, maybe that you remember from your time that were requested from you?
Actually, you covered pretty much everything here when I think about it. So there is nothing left, at least top of my head. But I would like to tell people that, when you are born in a country, you don't have to deal with majority of those documents, like birth certificate. Many of the people until I leave my country, I didn't have to deal with my birth certificate. I didn't even need it because I was born there. It was automatically issued by the government, and it works. So that's what I am trying to explain to the people who are coming. So every country has their own rules. So don't assume that that document is not going to be required, or this document is a bit unnecessary. So if you have something already you have, bring it with you. And later on, if you come here and if it is required, you still have the chance to go to your embassy and get this document from there. But not all documents are issued by the embassy, so it's a bit difficult.
And again, it's time and money that you lose.
True, a lot. So you will have to go through a lot of trouble. Well, there are some, then you may have to either arrange some consultancy company from home country. But as Diana said, it's just it costs a lot of time and money. So and you are trying to do a lot of things at the same time. So it's just putting another block on top of the problems you are dealing with. So bring everything, and if you don't need it, it can stay here. But the full list that Diana mentioned later on is going to be available in our website as well.
We'll publish it there as well. Yeah.
So you can also check it to make sure, and we will keep it updated.
Yeah, I also think it's important to mention that you should, from whatever country you're coming from, you should really check what are the procedures that need to be done to close your living in that particular country. Close tax office information, maybe, there's no end. Each country has its own procedures.
True.
I know when I was leaving, I had to go to the tax office, say, listen, I am leaving. And they asked me, okay, when are you planning to come back? And I said, I'm not coming back. And they said, well, then you don't need to pay everything. They just closed, and that's it. Also for the health insurance in my country where I lived, I also informed them, because some people, when they relocate for a specific time, then it's better to continue paying the health insurance in your own country if you have one. And then in order not to lose the streak. So there's various things in the countries of your origin that are very important, kind of do the checklist for them. We cannot do that because each country has its own. But just so you think, like if you're planning to say, I'm planning to move to the Netherlands, take a step back and go online and say, okay, what do I need to do to close my affairs here in the country that I live?
Thank you. I think that's valuable as well. You can always go back later on to decide if you want to decide to stay here longer. You can always do it. But if you have definitive already, you're going to move to this country and you will leave everything behind, it's better to do it in advance.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Nothing's...
That brings us to
I think it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Another tasty one.
Yes. All right. So
cool.
That brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you very much, Diana, for going us through these documents. It's really helpful. And talk to you later.
Ja, tot ziens.